English 天下一
Hi, welcome back again to part number 2 of the lesson of the reported speech. And today we will be continuing our change of sentences from direct speech to indirect speech. And now it's about questions. When you ask a question, there are two possible ways. It's either a direct question or an indirect question. They can't be anything else. I'll give you an example. If I asked you, are you sick? Are you sick? You only have to answer with yes or no. So a direct question is the one that you answer with yes or no. It's very easy. Are you sick? No, I'm fine. Are you sick? Yes, I feel sick. Or we can ask with auxiliary. Do you speak English? By the way, if you want to ask with the verb to be, it's easy. Verb to be plus subject. But if you want to ask with another verb, you can't start with the verb. You can't say, speak you. It's not like the verb to be you have to switch, no. You have to use an auxiliary. It's a verb that helps the other verb in order to make questions. Do you speak English? Yes, I am? No. Yes, I do. Okay? Now, indirect questions, or we can call them WH questions. There are questions that you have to answer with a full answer. For example, where do you live? Yes. Hey, I'm asking you, where do you live? It's not a direct question. You can't answer with yes or no. You have to get, okay. So you have to give me a full answer. Where do you live? I live in this place. How old are you? No. You can't answer with no or yes with indirect questions because they have a WH word. How old are you? You have to give me a full answer. Okay. I am 27. Great. Now, how do we change these questions from direct speech to indirect speech? The first easy example of direct questions is, are you sick? First of all, we need to find the verb. The verb is here. This is the verb to be. Now, the verb to be does not need any other verb to help it make questions. It just changes place with the subject. Are you sick? Okay. I want to report this sentence. So, are you sick? Go ahead, tell your mom what I told you, what I asked you. The teacher asked me. So, he asked me. Now, it's different. The reporting sentence with the reporting verb is different because it's a question. You're not going to say he told me or he said. No, he asked. He asked me, look, if. It's a condition. He asked me if you, do you remember? I. And the verb to be is in simple present. Now, simple present becomes simple past. Normally, we should say I was, but because we have if, it's a condition. Go back to the lesson of conditional. You will know that there is an exception with I, with the conditional. If you have I, or you, or he, or whatever, the verb to be has to be were in the past. It's just an exception. He asked me if I were sick. It's not a question, no question mark. And as you can see, I changed again the place of the subject with the verb. Now the verb was in the beginning. Now it's the second. Why? Because it's not a question anymore. When I ask you, and you have to go and say this to your mom, are you going to ask your mom? No. You're just going to say what I told you, what I asked you to your mom, not as a question. That's why we have to change it from a question to a normal statement, put the subject in the beginning. Take the subject back. See? Okay, I'll give you another example. Do you speak English? You can say, he asked me, or he wanted to know. You can say he wanted to know. So, it's not he told me. So he wanted to know. He asked me. It's the same. Again, if. Now, what do I have to do? We have the verb here. This is the verb. It's not only that. It's this. All of this is the verb. And as you can see, the auxiliary is changing place with the subject because it's a question. So, when I'm reporting, it's not a question anymore. Put the subject back. If I, then see where the verb is in which tense. See which tense the verb is in. So do speak, that's the simple present. Simple present in question becomes simple past, but not in question. I spoke English. Now this sentence can be also if I speak English. Why? Because it's a statement. Do you speak English? It's not now. Do you always speak English? So he asked me if I speak English. Not that moment when he was speaking to me, no, always. So sometimes you can keep it, but in your exams, change it to simple past. So that's why I'm not going to focus on this. And that's it. Direct questions, you need if, and start with the subject, then change the verb. And it's not a question anymore. Now, the situation for indirect questions is a little bit different because indirect questions need a WH word. Example. What do you like to eat, for example? Same thing for questions, all the questions. He asked me, or he wanted to know. He asked me now the difference is that we are not going to use if. We're just going to keep the same WH word. He asked me what? Okay, let's stop here. This is a question, which means the subject is changing place with the auxiliary and the verb is here. What do I have to do? Bring back the subject to its place because it's not a question anymore. Do you remember? What you becomes I. And then the verb is in simple present, so it becomes simple past. What I liked to eat. And you finish. As you can see, there is no do. Do is gone. Why? Because it was in question. We need do to make questions. It's not here anymore. Another easy example. How are you? It's very simple. So, how are you? As you can see, subject and the verb are not in their usual place. Normally, we should start with the subject. Why? Because it's a question. So, it's the same thing again with the reporting sentence. He wanted to know, or she wanted to know. Okay, let's change it this time to she. She wanted to know. As I said, keep the WH word. How? And do I have to start with the verb? No, it's not a question. She wanted to know how. Start with the subject this time. You becomes I. And the verb is in simple present. Becomes simple past. How I was. One more thing we need to talk about is how to make requests. Requests is when you ask someone, but not a question. You ask them to do you a favor, to do something for you as a help. Let's see this example. Can you please drive slowly? And I actually added please on purpose, because you need to be polite when you're making requests. You can say like, can you drive slowly? Like, yes, I can, but I don't want to. Nah. So you have to go like, can you drive slowly, please? Or can you please drive slowly? And the other one would say like, yeah, sure, sure. Let me slow down. Okay. Imagine I am a taxi driver and a passenger asked me, can you please drive slowly? And then I came to my mom or like anyone, a friend of mine, and I said, a passenger, or she, asked me. All right, so we use ask for questions and also for requests. We can say she asked me, or we can say she wanted me, but the difference comes after. Can you please drive slowly? She asked me to. So she asked me, or she wanted me to. If you have a request, you need to make infinitive. And after to, you need to add the verb, the main verb. It's not can, it's drive. She asked me to drive slowly. I can't say please, and it's not a question. She asked me to drive slowly, please. No, please. We make please when you have the direct speech. If it's indirect speech, remove the please, remove the modal, just bring the verb. To drive slowly. She asked me to drive slowly. That's it. Just the to plus infinitive. The last thing we have to see now is orders. Order is when I ask you to do something obligatory. When we were kids and children, our parents always tell us, go to your room. As an order, it's imperative. Now, what do we have to do? It's the same thing again. We need a reporting sentence. He ordered me. Or he wanted from me. Again, it's kind of the same as requests. To. And of course, after to, you need the verb in infinitive. Go to your room. So he's talking to me. My room. And here I have 4 examples, 4 sentences. Each one is expressing something. Like for example, number 1, she doesn't eat pizza. That's not even a question. It's not a request. It's not an order. So it's just a statement, a normal statement. Now, we need to define all the 4 elements. Pronouns, verb, expression of time. We don't have any. Expression of place. We don't have any. Okay, what do we need? Is the reporting sentence. He said that. Okay, pronoun doesn't change. She doesn't eat. Doesn't eat. Which tense? Simple present becomes simple past. She didn't eat pizza. And by the way, it's negative. And number 2, where have you been? It's a question. And there's a WH word, which means it's an indirect question. As we said, if we have indirect questions, it goes like this. He asked me, or he wanted to know. Now, keep the WH word, where, bring the subject, you, I, and the verb, have been, present perfect, where I becomes past perfect. Do you remember? Had been. No question mark. Do you want to travel tomorrow? Direct question. I'm going to answer with yes or no. So, again, he wanted to know. If it's direct question, We need if. And the verb, do, want. Simple present becomes simple past. Pronoun. Oh, we have expression of time. Pay attention. So bring the subject. Again, questions. Bring the subject first. If I, simple present, past. If I wanted, and then to travel, infinitive, don't change it. So tomorrow becomes the following day. Okay, in a question. Stay away from me. Hey, stay away from me. That's an order. So we can say, he told me, but to. It's not a statement, it's an order. We can say he told me, or he wanted me, or he ordered me. He ordered me, or he wanted me, he wanted from me, or he told me to. Of course, to is followed by infinitive. Stay away from me becomes him. If it's a girl, if she told me to stay away from her. Well, thank you so much. That was reported speech. I'll see you probably next time.